I'm so pleased to welcome our speaker, Larry Schwitters. Larry grew up in Storm Lake, Iowa. He earned his Master of Science degree at East Texas University. Larry taught middle school science and coached track for 30 years in Renton Public Schools. Larry got his start in swift research by hiking to over 100 waterfalls in Washington looking for black swift nests. In 2008, Larry shifted his focus to Vaux's swifts. He created an advocacy research group called Vaux's Happenings. And thanks to his leadership, the Monroe chimney was saved from demolition. Since 2019, Larry has been the lead contributor to the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, Birds of the World, Vaux's Swift section. So thank you and welcome, Larry.
I guess it's to me now, eh? Let's
Yes,
see what we
Captain.
can do here. This is inside Monroe Wagner. It's late. There's a lot of birdies in there. Get the idea, they're at least 3 deep. I think we had 22,000 of them. Kind of an estimate, kind of a guess. We've been at this since 2008. What we do, I guess you can read. Been doing so for 18 years. Preserve and protect. This is a brand new slide. This is from down in Mexico. We'll see this slide again. Photo by Charles Biggs from Monroe. Swifts can't perch at all. Thank you, Ed Newbold, for the painting of the 4 swifts that inhabit North America. Down at the bottom, a black swift nest was not photographed in Oregon or Washington State until 2007. And then Charles Bergman and I got a really good shot of a young one. This is up near Snoqualmie Pass. We waited for, I think, 3 hours for the sun to get in the right position where he could take a good photograph without a flash. And surprisingly, the adult is not supposed to show up until it's dark. For some reason, this one did. Chimney swifts, Vaux swifts, can you tell the difference? Sibley thinks he can. I'm not so sure. Chimney swifts' wings are a little longer. The whole bird's a little bigger. And they have 2 entirely different ranges. But you knew that. How many chimney swifts are there? 7 million. How many Vaux's swifts? 200, 600,000. I think I'm going to have to say more than 200,000 since we've seen more than 200,000 at one time. The X is there. There's different subspecies. We'll get into that later. White-throated swifts. That's probably a chimney swift. But hey, it's a good shot. Something that's different about swifts, especially Vaux's swifts, is they don't just stick their bug in the biggest mouth. They're able to make sure that everybody gets their fair share. They got pretty good sized eyes. This is in Yakima, looking down inside the chimney there of a auto repair shop. auto upholstery shop. And they carry a bolus full of food in their throat. If they're lucky, if they can find food, if food is abundant enough, they'll make a trip every 10, 15 minutes. And they're cute. This is in Central Oregon. The local newspaper heard there were a lot of swifts in this chimney, so they got there at like 4 o'clock in the morning and waited and waited and waited, and then finally climbed up on the roof and looked down, and there was one, a cute one. Yep. Falling in love and starting a family. At first, they were just friends. And the word is they can lay as many as 6 eggs. Wait a minute. How many eggs are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're very, they don't want anybody around when they build their nest. So if you got a chimney that's got a nest in it, you only have one. Look at all those little pin feathers. I think that's seven of them in there. Every year there's a new nest built. Could be in the same spot exactly or not. Best Butler, Sultan is where this was. Made out of sticks, little sticks, and bird spit. So swifts are in the air all day long because they can't just grab a telephone wire. But they also don't fly at night. They try to avoid flying at night, even though they got pretty good eyes. So when it starts getting dark, they need to find a place to sleep. And I haven't been able, I've looked at closely at feathers. I try to figure out exactly what it is about them. Maybe it could be their placement, could be the way they're made. But they can't fluff up, which is what bush tits do. Is that a bush tit? For sure it is. Swallows aren't very good at this getting fluffy thing, and swifts are worse. So in the beginning, before man came around and started building brick structures, uh, the chimney swifts and the Vaux swifts like big hollow trees. And that's one of them that we've had in our survey of yearly migration, the giant redwood in Northern California. We had swifts there for 5 years. Want to see them go in? Whoop. Wait a minute. And you can't tell, but they're going in butt first, coming down head first, and then at the end they come down feet first at the very end, unless they're being chased by a hawk. And then it's head first, every bird for himself. All right, enough of that. Issaquah, which is in my neighborhood, I found that tree, looked inside for bird poop, looked inside for nests, nothing. But I did put a temperature logger in it to find out if the temperature was warmer inside without swifts. It wasn't. There's the log of the inside of that cottonwood. Red is the outside temperature, blue is the inside temperature. And I got a degrees Fahrenheit, 60. Maybe it's a couple degrees difference, but not much. But it's insulated. and you're out of the wind. Oh, talking about trees. This was Beeville, Texas. It's so lovely there this time of year. Chimney Swiss in late April. We're coming across the Gulf of Mexico, and they ran into a nasty storm coming down out of the north right at sunset. Couldn't find a hollow tree, couldn't find a chimney, so they grabbed the trunk of a tree. Don't even need a tree. This is Corpus Christi, I think the same day. This is the corner of her house. She's got brick siding there and a pile of swifts. And what attracts swifts into masonry structures rather than trees? This is Rainier, Oregon, Riverside Church. If I'm careful here, we can give you a look. Don't know how many of these of swifts that were counted here, but this site has done very good for us. Well, very good for the birds. Come on. Okay. So what can they do to stay warm when they're not flying? First thing you do is they share their body warmth. Isn't that cute? Can you see the third swift? Yeah, sure you can. So the more swifts you have, the more body heat you have to share. You don't have to be touching each other even, but there gets to be a lot of them. You like that. Bricks and masonry, as in concrete, absorb heat slowly during the day. If it's sunny, it does a better job. And then once the sun goes away or goes down and the outside temperature starts to cool down, the bricks slowly release their heat. And kitty cats like them. So it's not just a dark hole. It should be a warm dark hole. And how warm is it exactly? And we documented that in 2012 by putting temperatures into 7 roost chimneys, a couple hollow trees. Oh, what year was this? I did this 2014, 2015. This was in Detroit, huge chimney that I put the camera in. We'll talk about that later. There's the shiny white at the top on the left is the camera, the back of the camera in Monroe Wagner. And then we've got a temperature logger in a waterproof container, 5 feet down or something like that. And then we got another one that's halfway down. And here's one that we had 100 swifts, and it's in degrees Celsius, so that'll probably mess us up. But blue is outside. Temperature drops until the sun starts to come out at 6 o'clock-ish. And the 1 meter down, I guess that's 3 feet plus. And then 4 meters down, which is halfway. Well, that's only 100 swifts. What happens if we add 70 swifts? Hey, you can see where they came in. I don't know what happened to that second little bump there. But with this many swifts, even sometimes in a empty chimney, if it had a good sunshine day, it'll be 25 degrees Fahrenheit warmer inside than it is outside in the middle of the night, which is worth doing. Okay. In 2007, only 2 large number of Vaux Swiss roost sites were well known in Washington. The Sumas Old Customs House, which was, not surprisingly, right on the border in Sumas, and locally, the Monroe Wagner Elementary School. Only 2 in the whole state were well known. And the Monroe School District wanted to tear this one down. Ought to have been objected. So if we're saying, hey, that's no good, well, what the school district said at that point they said, well, they don't use a chimney anymore. We were skeptical. First thing we needed to do was to determine how many Swiss were still using the Wagner chimney. And we did. Put together Vaux happening. And we ended up with, we had over 100,000 Swiss that migration. And that's a northbound migration. Uh, where we at here? So Swift night out, of course. We decided that for the southbound migration, excuse me, for the southbound migration, we would get people to come out by having a celebration, a community celebration. But we had no idea when the Swiss would show up because it was our first southbound migration. So, would the people show? Yeah, it's 700 to 1,000. That's good. Would the Swiss show? 14,000. That's more than good. And the wee birds kept stuffing themselves into Wagner without stopping for a half hour. And I still remember the last one made 2 loops, then dropped into a standing ovation. Ah, now we need to tell the world. Front page of the Seattle Times. So, school district, are you sure you want to tear that chimney down? Yeah, they still want to tear it down. They said it would talk, what did they say? A lot of money, $150,000 to do a seismic retrofit. Otherwise, they're going to have bricks falling on people's heads. So, we're going to get our money. How about we get it from the government? Which we did. The head of the Appropriations Committee in Washington went to Monroe Wagner School. He said, here's 100,000 for student safety. Well, here we go. But it seems it wasn't enough. We hired a structural engineer by his name of Sugar, who ended up being a rat. After getting his $7,500 fee for drawing plans for a retrofit for the chimney, he said he had to have another 23,000 or he wasn't going to put a stamp on it. Well, to heck with you, Chudar. But I can't find anyone who will do it also, do the work for less than $150,000. And then it's Ralph Yinglinger, I believe is how he pronounces his last name. He hates the birds. They poop all over his roof. He fought us every step of the way. But in the end, he saved the day for us. And Monroe. He suggested that we take out 2 bricks with a mortar in between them, take it down to the University of Washington, and have them see what it takes to break them apart. And the bricks are super duper strong. So Ralph found someone to draw up new plans. We got a new set of bids. And the lowest one, which was someone who'd been doing business with the school district before quite a bit, $52,000. Okay, so we got the chimney up, retrofitted, looking good. It was decided by someone that, well, I was involved with it too. Let's put a video camera in that roost site. Okay. When we did, actually, we put 2 cameras. One dome Vivitech looking down, or it wasn't a Vivitech at that time, and another that looks across the opening. And we put a high quality microphone in there. And this is from the outside one. Okay. These little birds go tweet, tweet sort of thing, a musical little thing, when they're circling the chimney. Once they get inside, though, they make a whole bunch of different noises. Some of them are rather amusing. You could hear the squawk from the last slide. Let's see. This is 3 a.m. They should all be asleep. Nobody's sleeping. When they come out in the morning, people never, hardly ever see them come out in the morning because when they come out, the time varies a great deal. But this is we're seeing. And hearing. All right, this takes a little while, but it's worthwhile watching it again if you've seen it once. Okay, now we got the camera going, and we discovered something unexpected and disturbing was happening in the morning. Audubon has a plan. I wonder what that plan is. All righty, that was fun. Okay, hey, nice looking chart there, my golly. North and south migrations in Wagner. Wagner does better going north now than it does going south. A lot better these days. The Vaux swift range got 7 subspecies. Yucatan swift garmini, I believe. Our subspecies goes all the way up to the Yukon. And we found one almost in the Yukon, the cottonwood tree. This is Guatemala, down to Guatemala. This is the one we got going in Canada right now. It's the Courtney Museum. And especially going south, we found that there is a chain of chimneys that the swifts like that are located 50 to 200 miles apart, which is about what they can fly in a day or want to fly in a day. Their numbers change. Some of them that were working good no longer are. Los Angeles, Chester Williams. We fought hard to keep that one alive. It didn't happen though. Old Northern State Hospital, one of the most spooky places there are in the world. I talked my way in to get to the bottom and almost tripped on a huge pile of swift poop. So, yeah, this one has been being used. Maybe not this year, but wow. It's now known as the Swift Center, Cedro Woolley Innovation for Tomorrow. But the Swifts, well, they're no longer there. Selical Schoolhouse, long story on that. Show you what it looks like. Here's 70 a second entry. Whew. It was raining. We've been getting observations there every night since the first swift shows up to the last one goes, even in the summer. And this Monroe Wagner and Selick, and there's probably others that we haven't figured out yet, has swifts all summer long. 100, 10, that's usually. And every year is different. And 2025. So because you only got maybe 100 swifts to play with to keep our interest, we keep track of what minute, what time everyone comes in. We won't worry about that too much, but we got 5 people that here. Joint Base Lewis McCord. Diane, how about that? And building 2068, the Army had plans to demolish it, so we wanted to try and talk them out of it. Did. And for a few years, JBLM, I believe, had the most swifts of any place that we knew of in North America. How come so few? And what happened? The 43,457 in 2014, we think that's because there was a leak. Cool air was getting into the chimney. Swifts don't like that cool air getting into the chimney. So there weren't very many of them showing up. We don't know what happened to make them go. Yes, we do. I know. Tell you later. That's what happened. 50 miles north of Portland is this Rainier Riverside now church, was a school. It had a grate on it all the way back to, I don't know, 25 years. And we pulled the grate off. And because we pulled the grate off, now we figure the Swiss, rather than go down around through Joint Base Lewis McCord, they're coming across the Olympic Peninsula. We found a roost tree there that has as many as, I think, 6,000 in it. And that's right where the fire was. I guess that saves them. I guess it's still there. Next one up after Joint Base Lewis McChord and now the one in Rainier Riverside. We got Portland Chapman. Want to see what it looks like inside? Well, nobody's ever been inside that except me and another guy that went with me. It's the bricks are so thick, maybe 5 thick, that you can put your back up against the wall, reach out and check it, touch the other side, which makes it very firm. We got in some PVC pipe, get some temperature loggers up there. And once you get into September and the bricks have all warmed up, not only is it like an oven, it's like a constant oven. And the Swiss really like that up until last year. That's another story. Agate Hall, University of Oregon in Eugene. It's been having Swiss for a long time. I haven't gotten to the bottom of it yet. Another look at that. Eugene, next comes Rosewood Pottery Shell Shed. Oh, they really, really enjoy that. That's this. They've used this chimney, the Swifts, for a long time. They shoveled the poop out, which I still got some of it in my garage. Uh, and the locals really love showing up. They have an orchestra that comes in and plays for them. It's great. They didn't have a very good year last couple years, but they're still coming. This is just kind of an interesting one anyway. It's a water tank North Central California near Eureka. No. Yes, well, Rio Linda Academy, North Central California. See the steam coming out of that? It's hooked up to their water heater or something like that. And the Swiss really like that. We got a picture of what it looks like. There was 6,000, I think. Brad, the basketball coach there, he clomped his way up and the birds heard him coming, so they went down. Good picture. Next up is McNair Brick and Block, good old Rusty. I see bricks and blocks and 3 chimneys. Oh man, this place, things have changed. They didn't used to have this many at all. But here's another nice chart. Starting especially in 2023 and 24 and 25, they have over 1 million, yes, in the southbound migration. 1 million. Well, okay, we get to South San Francisco Bay, McNair Brick. Oh, and it's interesting to know that they still got Swiss right now. They're counting over 200 a night, not every night now, but they have overwintering Swifts, and 200 is a lot to overwinter in the Bay Area. Down in Los Angeles, at up to 12,000 both migrations. This is San Diego, and this is kind of it's the YWCA. Hey, hey. It's fun to stay at the YWCA. Swifts like it now. Hawks like to eat the Swifts. We don't like hawks to eat the Swifts. Someone who lives there took that video. Okay, Vaux happening migrations, north and south. Holy cow. Sure doesn't really kind of look like the Swifts are getting wiped out, does it? Well, they're holding their own on our numbers from the north, and they're really going up, going south, and that's because so many of them are now getting counted at McNair Brickyard in North San Francisco Bay. I don't know how long that's going to last. Hey, what else have we been up to? Weekly updates to the Swift Seekers every Friday night. I don't remember the last time I missed a Friday. And since I can hardly type anymore, it takes me a long time to do it. Attach a geolocator to a Swift. Still working on that. Attach radio transmitters to 6 Swifts. We did that in Yakima. I show you that a little bit. Put up a masonry tower in Ellensburg. We came close. Didn't happen though. Repair an existing tower in Centralia. We did that. Put up a masonry tower in Albany, Oregon. We did that. 100 plus PowerPoint presentations in North America. Yes, we have been responsible, me and Diane, I guess, especially Diane. 5 international Swift conference presentations. They love us. Video camera inside a huge Detroit smokestack. Opened up a roost that was sealed off. Oh, it was 30 years ago. Various publications. I was Audubon Volunteer of the Year. There she is, Diane and Faye. These are the International Swift Conference. And this one, which happens this year, well, next year, 2006, is some pub in Ireland. And oh, about that Swift adventure that began in beautiful downtown Yakima. This is a chimney that you can kind of climb. You can climb up there if you got a short ladder. Friday morning, 8:30 to 11:30. Put a net out beside them. And cool thing about swifts, when they get caught in a net, unlike a vireo that'll get itself all tied up in knots and try and bite you, they play dead. So each one of them, we check for lice, and they got lots of lice. We would kill the lice, put them in a bag and weigh them, put a little tag on them. And the tag is not a little band of metal, a transmitter, a radio transmitter, VHFs. You can see the antenna. I got to let him go. That's fun. And then downstream, down migration, we had people with Yaga antennas at the known chimneys, checking out the roosting chimneys, checking out the roosting swifts in each chimney to see if they could get a detected little beep. And there were 2 of them that we did. The one woman who we had works for Fish and Wild, and it was definite. They went, oh, I don't know, they averaged a little over 50 miles a night. We figure they only fly every other night, every other day, and they don't fly at night. Okay, constructing some new roost sites. We got that put together for 12,000. Oh, 12,000. Got help from Albany Parks and Rec. Got together. No joy. I got some excuses, but hey. The old winery at Farmington, which is a suburb of Detroit, that's a big chimney. We had to find someone dumb enough to climb up it twice. They had staples in it. That's kind of fun. And it was raining, of course, and there was whistling. You can see the big Vivotech camera that I put up there, and it's got a lot of swifts, and it's a big chimney. That's not a lot of them. That is. Okay, that's too easy. Getting the grate off. We open up the roost. Sorry. Daryl, who was kind of in charge of things then, He submitted an observation report on August 31st of 2019. We had put it early. We took it out. We took the screen off early 2019. Open it and they will come. This chimney breaks our Rainier record of 3,817 and does it on its first day of occupation since 1992. Maybe we should put a camera in it. Oh no. Okay. I didn't take his picture and I didn't call his wife Janice his rib. She doesn't look like a rib to me. This is a great guy. He is Rev. Rev. The locals like sitting out in their lawn chairs watching the swifts come in. Sure, let's put a camera in it. Here's 2/3 of the ground crew. Gramps is in the harness. Up we go. That's fun too. Does it work? Sure does. Let's see. And you can see the date down there. January, February, March 28th, 2025. Why, that's last year. That's kind of wintry and it's greeny, fungy, algae-ish. Later on, it isn't greenish and it does have stress a lot. All right, total Vaux happening, total swifts, 28,915. But when you add in Mexico and summers, we're close to 30,000. Mexico has not been easy. Quick look at the crime going on down there on the border. And once those 300, 400,000 Voxes fly over the wall, where do they go? Well, Mexico. First week in November, this is eBird. I think you all know what eBird is. How many swifts are there 1 week into November? What? What's going on there? All months, all year? Forget that last slide. So anyway, using eBird, I took every one of the states of the 32, I think, and have how many observations eBird did there, how many swifts they got, what years, what the average was, highest three reports. So look at the third to the last column. There are only 3 states that has had a eBird sighting of more than 1,000 swifts. What? How can that be? Well, okay, especially going down from the border on south for the first maybe 200 miles. There's, wonder where they go. Where do they go? So we figured out maybe they're roosting in the trees in the villages because there aren't trees, not in the villages. It's a good looking tree. So we're looking for someone who will go down there and check out the village trees. And it was Kevin Lucas, Pride of Yakima. He had gotten his shots and passport and headed for northwest Mexico to find migrating boxes, swift roost in the trees, in the villages, and he will be eating a lot of peanut butter. And he found a little concrete structure, had stuff in it, rats, it's bats. Kevin gave it his all. He questioned everybody. He had his eyes in the sky dusk to dawn. He avoided Montezuma's revenge. He wasn't murdered or even kidnapped, but he found no chimney roofs, no reliable trees, roost reports, and he only saw 2 swifts. But his vehicle kept running, and they only spent $3,276. December and January, this is Mexico City's in the upper left-hand corner. You can see there's not being seen everywhere. It's probably got something to do with people, where the people are, but there's only like four. One of them is Orzaba, Mexico. It's the only Mexican site we ever woo-fooed. It's Axel and Mrs. Axel. Most he ever saw there was 6,671. They show up in September. They're gone in April, or is it May? Yes, May 13th, he still had 551. Axel. That's kind of the way it goes with the Orzaba swift, if that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Guatemala. There was a 1928 German paper. This was it. It was an old sugar plantation, and they had Swiss since 1920. Big volcano. We hope it doesn't erupt. Kaboom, it did, and Swifts are gone. Are they still gone? Yes. Okay, so Kashmir Roof and Rick Vedder were rumbling down some highway south of Mexico City at sunset and caught sight of thousands of birds entering a huge concrete smokestack. They only caught 10 minutes of the action, so we obviously need to get another longer, closer look. Look at that. A very old sugarcane refinery. No idea how to pronounce it. Two very big stacks that aren't. It's very old. Someone almost local is going to document it. Because they are coming out. We had a young lady that took the bus to see it. Let us meet her. It's Judith. Well, now, Judith is a young lady, and I'll bet she doesn't come again and wait till dark to catch the entrance. But she did. Pictures. And I think, yeah, oop. Enough of that. Even caught one and counted well over 100,000 more. That's a lot of swifts. There we are. That's when they hit the rebar. Count the birdies. Woo! The land guard there, it's closed. They don't let you in unless you talk nice to them, and give them money, of course. There are times when both of those chimneys have swifts. This time they only use one. There's the observations that we got before 2025. And so we figured out, before we really nail this, doesn't there have to be some other significant roosts like this? Well, I figured out and got photos of all the 18 or 19, I think it is. What is it? I don't know. 18 old sugar plantation chimneys in Morales, whatever I can't speak. Like that one, and like that one, and 17 more. And so I sent an email, which of course was in Spanish. And we're trying to get someone to go down there and check all of these old chimneys, see if we can find one that's got swifts. And we got a guy, local, it's Oscar. Oscar, he's our man. Oscar wants some money. PayPal'd him $1,500 US dollars, 30,000 pesos. He borrows his auntie's Sunblade 2010 compact sedan. He's got a lot of high-end camera stuff and plans to take lots of photos. Well, Oscar is attacked. We find out 10 days later, Auntie's car and the camera was stolen. I thought, oh, geez. Actually, Oscar made it to 15 of the 18 stacks, none of which had Swiss, really. There were two hombres with two handguns, scary stuff. Lucky he's still alive. He had an 11-hour walk in the dark to his grandfather's house. Not only did he get the car, he got $4,000 worth of camera equipment. He made a police report of 20 pages. He had a medical report of x-rays that showed no lasting damage. The auto insurance paid 28,000 pesos. Car was a 20 Pontiac, which is a lot different than a Trans Am. Your insurance paid that much. We sent some money down there. Kevin will give Oscar his extensive backup Canon stuff if we can be sure he really wants it. So do you really want it, Oscar? And he says, good afternoon, Larry. I am truly grateful for this kind gesture you are showing me. Of course, I agree with the idea. In fact, it would help me a lot to continue with the photography projects I have. Best regards and a big hug, Oscar. Oscar. Okay, now how can we get this camera stuff down to him? Kevin's going to give it to him, but he's in Mexico, and any of our Swift seekers going to Mexico? We find out, yes, but they're leaving Bend, Oregon in 2 days. We were able to get the camera stuff all down there. It all worked out. All's good. Time to focus on this one, the ex-hacienda. Where's Judith? She's good, but she's not free. Am I back? The Florida woman who came to our first Monroe Swift night out with her now deceased father, both were thrilled, and she wanted to make a significant donation. She especially liked the Mexican monster roost part idea and asked, would $8,000 help? She asked us, oh, yeah. We got a big one on 9/27/25. How many? 263,025. Wow. Both chimneys being used, perhaps both chimneys filling up. It's starting to rain at 6:37, and the Swiss began to perch on the outside. You got to see this. There's the lumps at night on the outside. We're getting there. But you know what? They're going to develop the area. They got it platted out, but they say they're not going to tear down the chimney. Okay, birding is spunk. Looking for someone now to take people from Mexico City there, and that's Pamela Garcia. She's got a sharp website. She's got a flamingo tattooed on her stomach. Google birding is punk, and you'll get their website. How can you track a bird's migratory path? This is new. This is 10, 11, 12 days old is all. You can band them. They got to be recaptured. Rear telemetry, satellite tracking, they must be recaptured again. Modus. A lot of modus on the East Coast, not many here. And we got breaking news, Blue Morpho. 400 monarch butterflies with CTT transmitters were released across North America 2 months ago and are arriving in Mexico. Same birds, I guess. The weight is under 2/100th of a gram. Foxes weigh 18 to 19 grams. Battery life, they're solar. Solar lasts for life. Detection, Modus will detect them, and Smartphones will detect them, whether you're trying to detect them if you get within 100 meters of one. Attachment is eyelash glue. Transmitter cost is 200. 9 out of the 32 monarchs that were released in Kansas City have made it to Mexico. Easier to get with just one. The monarchs average 26, this monarch averaged 26 miles a day. Okay, here comes your last slide, and it's a doozy, as in a Duesenberg. You ready? Woo! I think so. The end. That's all, folks. Take a quick shot. I've been at this a little under an hour.
You know, for those of you who have not had the chance to hear Larry present this, you got a feeling for how much crowd noise and clapping, and you very cleverly have put that right into your PowerPoint in some places. Thank you. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
People, questions, please feel free to unmute if you'd like. There are clapping hands going up for those of you who maybe aren't looking at this screen. I didn't know you could make all these funny. Anyone have a question for Larry? I have one. Larry,
Rick?
can you explain or give some theories of why some of the birds elect to overwinter in certain areas and most of them don't? Is it age or
It's got to be the availability of food. And for some reason, right now there must be, and as long as there still is in the Bay Area, a lot of bugs. Why make that long trip?
so you would guess that it's a decision made on the fly, so to speak, haha, made at the
There were a
time,
lot of,
not
I mean, they went down from over 100,000 a night to 100 a night. So it wasn't all of them, but yeah. I don't think we've ever had one. Well, we've seen them in the winter, a few down by the Columbia in Washington State. I think even last year there was it one or two or not very many? I think it's just one. And it could be they're screwed up. Technical term.
um, I'm sure I'm just being naive. Why do people close up derelict chimneys? What's the reason of closing them up?
Especially, well, if it's a house, uh, they think the poop is going to destroy the chimney. They think the poop is going to smell. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. They don't like birds.
Well, so you think that most of the closed up uh, chimneys that were closed up because of the birds, not just closed up years ago because no one was using them, something like that.
I know we don't worry about the chimneys that don't have birds. So I
Okay.
probably just about the
Well,
ones that had
I mean,
birds.
it comes down to when you see something like those sugar plantation stacks, you just think, well, we want to go out and open every chimney that's closed up.
Yeah, well, the big tall ones they usually don't get up there.
Mhm. Come on, y'all. Ooh, y'all. Chaz.
More questions.
Chaz is
Boom.
act. Chaz, Charles is acting. Oops, where'd it go? It went away. Ah. Are the non-breeding flocks mixed species?
Type something in here.
Uh, Question of the non-breeding flocks, mixed species. We don't think so.
Mhm. Um, we have a pair, sorry, a couple, John Thomas and Pam Reed, who are in the audience. If you'd like to, please feel free to turn on your camera. And I see you're unmuted. Could you tell
Oh,
us? Could you tell us a
here I
little bit
turn it on.
about what you mentioned at the beginning?
Oh,
There they go.
Hey, hi, Mr. Schwitters.
Hello.
I've reported to you for up to 25 years by now, off and on, sometimes off, sometimes on. And we
Mhm.
have these birds up here at the Abbey Hill,
Yep, I
St.
know.
Benedict, Oregon. And we were trying to figure out why they were still coming in. I mean, big numbers in October, in the middle of October. And there was nobody coming into Chapman. And we had people nearby reporting on eBird and so forth. And I wonder if you had any ideas about that, like why would we have them here at a higher altitude, a few hundred feet or whatever, and not up there in Portland?
Well, Portland lost their swifts. I think the swifts left Chapman because of continual predation
Oh,
by merlins, and
yeah,
but they didn't leave Portland entirely. There were two, three, four church chimneys that they were using in Portland. Uh, so there's still swifts in the Portland area,
yeah,
and then they still go to Eugene, but they went over to the Abbey, which is a little further to the east.
yeah,
They
south.
probably start sticking around. I got them all. I got all your reports on eBird on those this year.
Oh, good, good, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, we had some local neighbors up there like almost every night. They were going like, what is going on here? They should be gone. They should be gone. It's the end of September and they're still here. Big, big numbers. Well, for us here.
Yeah, it's got to be food availability.
Hmm.
This
Yeah.
food, it I don't know, wasn't terribly cold yet.
Yeah. Well, we were very thankful to see them. Thank you, sir.
Sure, see if you can be sending us some more woofos.
You're going to have to explain what a woofoo is, Miller Larry.
It's what we use for short for observation report.
Oh yeah, I've been a little bit remiss on that, but yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, a little less serious, maybe. What the heck are you going to do with the poop in your garage, Larry?
I'll give it to you if you want it. When we put up the Corvallis chimney, we
Oh,
threw a bunch of poop in it.
oh.
So a swift thinking, should I stay the night here? They can smell it and the poop and say to themselves, hey, this has had swifts in it. This is a good place. So I'll probably just keep it around until we put another chimney up and then I'll throw some poop in there. But if you really want it, you can have it.
The back end of, not the back end. Okay, the back end of that one is suggesting that playing sounds doesn't work. Is that correct?
No, what we did I got some slides of this that I didn't include, but the idea was as soon as we get it up, and we were already into the southbound migration.
Mm.
We wanted to started playing the sound of swifts circling the chimney.
Oh,
So we did. I had like a $250 speaker, and we blew the speaker
Oh,
immediately.
why?
So I went down to wherever I got it, Costco or something, and bought another one and took it down there and we blew another one. So then we got a smaller one, and by the time we're done screwing around, uh, we didn't get to play it continually, loudly early on. So I think the recording has promise maybe, but it didn't work for that. What attracts them? You know, I can't think like a swift.
I mean, when they immediately show up in huge numbers when a thing is opened or made available, that's just extraordinary how they can communicate that's available.
I guess they're up high in the air and they see these little birds like them, whole bunch of them circling. They say, huh, want to go join them. They're very social.
They are very social.
We have a question from Nancy. Is the new Albany roost too small? Why doesn't it draw swifts?
Yeah, which I knew. It's not too small.
Need some poop.
It's got poop.
Oh,
There's poop in there. Not fresh poop. Had very old poop. I don't know how
Larry,
long.
you tell a compelling story in so many ways. And, you know, the fact that you've been able, I shouldn't say you've been able, that you have a group of volunteers that every night of the day, of the year, goes to Selleck. How have you enticed those people? What have you promised them?
It's enjoyable, and except for two of us, they're quite local. Two of them actually live in Selleck, and the other one isn't very far away, and another one, she's got a ways to go. I send out a lot of emails every night. They know how many swifts showed up and when and all that. And I keep them interested so far.
Well, we're coming to that time of year when a lot of people are kind of casting around with nothing very consequential to do. And so if you're interested in volunteering, not necessarily at this one location, but in any fashion, swift counting it's a contagious sport.
Indeed,
I just put Larry's email in the chat, and of course, if you go to Vox's Happening, you can find out a whole bunch of more enticing stuff.
Yeah, we've got every year, every migration is on our website. Every night there was a swift scene. Every night someone is looking for them, except in the summertime. Yeah.
Anyone
No.
else? Anyone else have a question for our speaker? While you're thinking about it, and you can unmute if you wish, but I just want to tell you, I love watching the crow poker video every time you show it.
Good.
Did Leora make that? Who made that video?
She and I worked on that, and we had a lot of laughs doing it.
Can
It's
imagine.
the software that we used for it no longer is in existence. So
There's a question from Jake there.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as Larry finishes his sentence.
done.
Jake was asking, do you have plans to put a camera in the chimney in Eugene?
No. But the local Audubon should do that. And I have had a lot of emails with the local Audubon there. Lane County, I believe is what they call themselves, Lane County Audubon. And they will show up every now and then with lots and lots of people. And I've talked to the biology professors there, tried really hard to get people to show up and count them. I can't even get that. It's a mess. So if we had a camera, but let's let Lane County do that. Two of them's enough. Oh, by the way, speaking of the cameras, do they still work?
Yes.
How would you find out? You go to the website, you'd click on the one for the Wagner camera, which I did 3 hours ago. And the Wagner camera is still working. And down below it, you click on the Rainier camera, and there's another little button you probably got to find. And the Rainier camera works too. So these cameras are still working. And
It's a wonderful thing. And when you figured out how to put up free, I mean, the cameras are not free, but the video posting, the live video is wonderful. Yeah, it's working. It's still dark in there right now, but
yeah, it's dark now, and it doesn't have any feathers in it except the bottom.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
we'd like to thank Larry for visiting with us tonight and thank all of our guests. And thank you, Elaine, for all your technical support. And this concludes our meeting. Thank you.
thanks everyone. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.